chairperson, Mama Winnie, Nelson Mandela, the chairperson of the Legacy Fund organization, Mandela Legacy, Zinzi Mandela, and other members of the family, Minister Malusi Kigaba, Minister Blake Nzimande is still here, Minister Nesi, Mamwini, Deputy Minister Holomisa said that he had to rush to attend to something, so he's had to rush off. Mayor Patricia DeLille, leaders of political parties, especially, as I see him here, Julius Malema and Dalim Bofu, leaders of the EFF. Icon of music in our country, two of them, Kaifas Semenya and Leta Mbuli. The ambassadors who are here, especially because she's sitting next to me, British High Commissioner Dame McGregor. Business leaders who are here, especially Dr. Iqbal Server, and all of you ladies and gentlemen. I greet you this evening, and I feel honored and truly humbled to have been asked to come and say a few words about our mother and to be part of this celebration of such a remarkable human being, a remarkable milestone and also a remarkable life. The official record tells us that Mama Winnie Mandela is 80-something, but specifically 80. So she's turning 80, and her irresistible presence and lasting beauty and I want to pause a bit on the lasting beauty, because much as Julius Malema and I disagree on many things, we agree on her lasting beauty. He didn't have to whisper it to me, but I had him give this amazing speech, and then he turned into Sipedi and say, meaning that she is beautiful. So we agree on that. And Mama, thank you for bringing, as you've always done, of bringing various people together, even people who may disagree a little bit here and there from time to time, but bringing Patricia DeLille, myself and others in the ANC, and Julius and Dali, wow. You are indeed the mother of the nation. But you also have another attribute, which is your enduring vitality. When I went to greet Mama Winnie and I congratulated her on being 80, she then said, you know, many who I was born with are no longer around. And I said to her, and you still look as young, as full of vitality, and as beautiful than many of your age. Okay. And that is true. And we thank you for that. And she still displays the characteristics of a young person. And she's been, over the years, a constant companion throughout our lives and throughout our struggle. She's been a mother, she's been a comrade, she's been a comforter, she's been everything throughout the years of struggle. And she remains a constant. Many of us who grew into political maturity remember how constant she was. Even as we read later years about the 50s, the 60s, when we were much younger, her constantness has remained. And we thank you for that, because we need consistency and we need constant people in our country today. And when, like Madiba, she was banished from our presence, she remained present in our consciousness and in our hearts. This she did in the lives of many people. And she has lived an eventful life, a life that is rich in terms of experience and everything else. And she has gone through victories and setbacks have also traced the progress of our struggle for freedom. And it has been a life that has been marked by service to our people, remembering that Mama Winnie was the first servant social worker amongst black people in this country. Service. But it has also been marked by sacrifice, deep sacrifice, unbelievable sacrifice, determination, and a life that teaches us much more about the tenacity of the human spirit. If you want to know about a person who is tenacious, who holds on and never lets go, that is that Mamui. And her life in its totality gives meaning to our rallying cry that Watinta Bafazi, Watinta Mbogod. That's what her life has been all about. But Mama Winnie, she's not just any rock. She is a diamond built to shine, built to last, and built never to break. That's what she is. And I want to repeat this. Built to shine, and shine she did, and she is still doing throughout her life. Remember, Mama, we know your life so well. It's been made into films, it's been made into documentaries, and we know when you met Tatwe Madiba, how beautiful you were, and you swept him off his feet. You were a diamond that was born to shine, and you did shine, but also to last and never to break. And like a diamond, Winnie displays and conveys complexity, she displays strength, and she displays beauty. Complexity, strength, and beauty. Harassed, hounded, and tortured by a brutal and murderous state, she would never shatter like that diamond. Stripped of the comfort of family life, banned and imprisoned, she stood firm. Separated from her husband by steel bars and the cold waters of the Atlantic Ocean near Table Bay, she had to be both mother and father to her children and to the nation. She remained a symbol of strength for the many women who had lost their husbands, their partners, and children to the liberation struggle. She was a symbol of defiance for the many women who were themselves freedom fighters and who had to endure not only the racism of the apartheid state, but the sexism of a patriarchal system. Regardless of her own pain, and pain she did endure, she ensured that the children and the families of liberation were clothed and fed. She's just one leader in our movement who has always demonstrated practical care and compassion in a very practical way for those who are suffering, for those who are going through difficult times. Whenever there's been a challenge, a difficulty, whatever it could have been, a fire, a flood, Mama Winnie would be amongst the first to arrive. And what did she do when she got there? She didn't just give them words. She gave them hope and encouragement and practical help. She fought to ensure that Madiba would never be forgotten, that his name would remain in the hearts and the minds of the oppressed people of the world. She did it. She did it. And as time went on, it was her movement that then took it forward. But she initiated it. And we thank her for that, because she nurtured and made an icon, a global icon. She nurtured a global icon and made sure that it is delivered to the world and to our people. And today, with the benefit of hindsight, we must acknowledge that her strength and generosity of spirit placed upon her shoulders an inordinate burden. And we do it with hindsight because we did not realize it at the time that not only history, but her mere makeup had placed on her shoulders a huge burden, often having to endure in solitude. For our sake, she masked her pain. You never saw Winnie Mandela cry. Never saw that. She held back her cries and her tears and hid the bruises of her own suffering. And suffer she did. That is why this day, for me and for all of us who are here, Mama, is so important that we may tell you that we recognize the sacrifices that you have made on behalf of all of us, on behalf of the South African nation, and to tell you that we love you and we thank you for keeping our struggle alive. That you did. We know that she did not join the struggle with the expectation of recognition or reward, but by sheer weight of her contribution, her name will forever secure a permanent place in the history of our liberation struggle. For her life, from her life rather, future generations will understand what it means to be a freedom fighter of determination and of sacrifice. And through your life, Mama, you've been able to nurture, to teach, and many generations Julius Malema does not love you for nothing. He loves you because you are militant, you are a revolutionary, you are progressive, and that is why the love that he has for you derives from. That is why. And it is from you and your life that all of us who have learned so much from you will know what it means to stand for justice. From your life, we will know what it means to be faithful and to be loyal to the cause of human freedom. We will also know that, yes, women can do it, and that women have been able to play a role in shaping the history of our country, and you have been part of shaping the history of our country. Whether people like it or not, Winnie Mandela has helped to shape the history of this country. And from your life, we will also learn more fully what it means to be a revolutionary. Like so many of our people, you have lived with fear, with pain, with loss, and with disappointment. And yet each day, you have risen with the nobleness of the human spirit. They sought to denigrate you with bitter and twisted lies, but still you rose. They wanted to see you broken and your spirit broken, with bowed head and lowered eyes and weakened by soulful cries, but still you rose. They tried to defeat you with their hatefulness, but like the masses who called you Mama, you still rose. Out of the hearts of history's shame, you have risen. Up from a past rooted in pain, you have been able to rise. And now, as we celebrate in a free and democratic nation, you are still rising. At 80, leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I still find you rising. And at 80, into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, you are still on the rise. At 80, you still bring the gifts that our ancestors gave. You remain the dream and the hope of many of our people. When future generations ask about you, we will tell them to go and read Maya Angelou's poem. Maya Angelou wrote, "And still I rise," for it could easily have been written to describe your life. She said, Maya Angelou that is, "You may write me down in history with your bitter and twisted lies. You may thread me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise." Does my sazziness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? And haughtiness she does have. Don't you take it awful hard because I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? I repeat. Does my sexiness upset you? Wow. Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the hearts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain I rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream, the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. And still at 80, she is rising. And tonight, Mama, we want to say to you, we wish you the very best. You are unbelievable. You are totally irresistible. Wherever you are, you have a magnetic presence. When I went to Victor Verster to meet to Nelson Mandela, we had gone there with a delegation of COSATU leaders, and he was already living in Victor Verster, so we were made to wait in the lounge, and in Madiba came, tall, slim, handsome, and as he came, we all just rose, and as we rose, we knew that we had encountered somebody who is totally irresistible, who has a presence. And you, like Madiba, have been irresistible to many of us. And we thank you for the leadership that you have demonstrated, for all that you have done, for your suffering, for your long suffering as well. We thank you deeply, and we will continue to honor you and to love you and to hold you in high regard. Thank you very much for everything you have done. Thank you.